Powering up essential systems. Booting root C/audio logs. Reviewing previous data cells. Repairing audio files.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I was married once, so I get it.
So, what exactly is our plan for getting in?
No, I feel like the river could potentially be more dangerous because we don't have any way to...
You got about 45 minutes of daylight before the sun will be completely below the horizon.
Since it already looks like a pile of junk, it shouldn't be the hardest thing to camouflage. They could think, oh, maybe a rat fell into a vat. Have it blow up when we're over there.
The towers on the wall, they do not have any windows. It's
Thematically, it makes sense. Maybe Rex is just still... His head's not fully in the game.
no cover, not good. Yeah, just roll. Just roll a d6. Tell me the number. You planted the explosive. You're setting it to go off in about 30 minutes. And I imagine Bravo has more than one timepiece on him. You know, other just like these two other explosions just go boom boom in the general vicinity.
What is it? The Faceless? I took the move from the Faceless called Oh Yeah.
I will rule you can make the hard roll to smash through the wall.
Okay.
Let's watch this sucker.
Oh,
these kind of rules debates, I think they're part of the game. They're just a weird part of the game where it's like the rules are specific but not.
Now the good news is it's
interpretation.
interesting at least because I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
So it's not just a straight success. At least it's a 7.
That's 1 armor piercing damage, right?
Yes.
And
You
are
use
disoriented and under fire in follow-up actions. Leave something behind or take something with you.
Okay, cool. So, 1 second, I'm going to make a note in my notes that Rex ran through a wall.
I would like to describe it if I can.
Yeah, we gotta get
This is your show. This is your show for sure. I'll give you the conditions and you can describe it as I write it down. 7 to 9, yeah, you smash through the wall. You'll take 1 harm armor piercing, and I mean, you're totally disoriented and under fire for follow-up actions. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to like everything. There's nothing to leave behind or take with you. So, you're disoriented and will have to act under fire to do anything coming up.
As the whole gang is running up towards this wall, and Rex has just, you know how like sometimes when you need to wake up from something, you like splash cold water on your face, or you like kind of slap yourself in the face a little bit to wake up. Rex runs full sprint towards the wall and just hurls himself at it and crashes through the wall. And just like busting a bunch of it's like by stone you mean like bricks kind of, or like just kind of cobbled to get like
think like 2 layers of like cinder block, 2 or 3 layers, 2 layers like cinder block.
Is there rebar in there?
It doesn't matter.
Not in this part. In this one specific part that Rex
that could be what he takes with him.
I mean, let's put it this way. This move is based off the Kool-Aid Man, a glass jar who smashed through bricks unscathed.
And he just pushing himself for speed at the last moment just kind of takes like a running leap and just slams his shoulder into it and just like, just busts through the wall. And, he kind of yells a little bit as he does this. What a great way to kind of snap yourself out of it. And he like falls to the floor as he busts through, and he's just kind of like laying there in a bit of a confused state.
Bravo stumbles to a stop, and he takes a moment and just like, what in the world just... What? And then he like starts running again because now Rex is on the ground.
I know, Rex is on the ground. Yeah. Does he look hurt in this moment?
Technically, yes.
Did you get hurt?
He ran through a freaking wall face first.
I did a shoulder first.
Okay, shoulder first.
It's only
Yeah, I
one
did
harm,
take-
though.
I mean, that's the first harm I've taken all game.
Okay.
It's also armor piercing. It ignores armor, so like
So I fill up like that entire 12 to 3 section on my clock, right?
yes, you fill up the one section.
I broke my shoulder.
Yeah. So in a moment of like panic and like not knowing what to do, Dice sees him just like kind of fall on the ground and gonna run up and use her angel move called Healing Touch.
Is now the time?
It's kind of like it's a moment. It just happens. It's a weird roll, so I'll read it. When you put your hands skin to skin on a wounded person and open your brain to them, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, heal 1 segment. On a 7 to 9, heal 1 segment. But you're also opening your brain, so roll that next move.
Oh.
On a miss, first you don't heal them. Second, you've opened your brain, both your brain and theirs, to the world's psychic maelstrom without protection or preparation. For you and for your patient, if your patient's a fellow player character, treat it as though you've made that move and missed the roll. For the patients belonging to the MC, they experience their fate. Their experiences and fate are up to the MC. So would right in a moment like that, we're in a rush, he's on the ground. Would a move like that take time?
Let me think.
Because
Let me think.
if it takes time, she'll rather just get him up and try to find a way to use that.
Yeah, we could get to a safe space first.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like its effects would be immediate, but its after effects could.
Yes, I agree with what Aaron just said. You could, because it is a touch. You just have to touch them and open your brain to the psychic scalestrom, the psychic maelstrom.
Mykic Scalestrom is my favorite electronica artist.
Yes, Mykic Scalestrom. Ow. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's risky because you can do it instantly, but if you flub the roll, you may incapacitate yourselves just inside the city wall.
Just inside. Okay.
And I'm already incapacitated.
Yeah, he's disoriented. Like this. I mean, like if there's any, this is a concussion. Like let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, then
Broken shoulder and concussion.
can Bravo and I get him up enough to help him move? That's the next.
Oh yeah, he's not immobile.
Okay.
He's just disoriented. If you told Rex, "Hey, I need you to go like straight or north," that is not going to happen. It will be a squiggly line. He will fail the drunk test.
But if we get him up under each of our shoulders, he can move with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then we'll go. I feel like we can save that little moment for a safe space. Get inside the wall.
Let's take him and find someplace to hide.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
looking for cameras like crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So you bust in through the wall. No one really saw this coming. Maybe Rex did. We don't even know how Rex got to the physical condition in which he could run through a wall, but apparently it's possible.
Sheer willpower.
Sure, yeah. Rex smashes through the wall. He's disoriented, picks himself up off the ground, but is staggering around. And you two just come like hurtling through the wall, grab him like under the armpits and each arm, and just like gotta go. As you look around the area that you're now in, the area that you're in looks like it's a cleared area. A lot of it's kind of a concrete slab basically where you are. It's not like a concrete slab, but it's mostly just concrete. On your left, there's a series of buildings. They have lights on inside. It looks to be some kind of like residential like homes and areas where people live. To the right, you've got just more empty expanse until you get to the wall. Straight forward, there's a larger building. Looks like it could be some kind of a warehouse or something, but its lights are off.
Okay.
Knowing places like this, there will be more cameras in residential areas than there will be in a warehouse.
Okay, cool. So
let's go straight.
Let's go straight.
Dice? What, straight?
Straight, yeah. I'm gonna take your word for that. Straight. We've got you, buddy. I picked him up. He's kind of like lumbering over my shoulder because I'm smaller than him, but like
yeah.
a support.
Mm-hmm. Are you all still? I mean, obviously, to me it makes sense. Are y'all still trying to like move fast and just get some space between you? because getting a disoriented Rex to move fast is going to be rough.
I was going to say, I don't think I can move fast right now.
No, as quick as we can with a disoriented Rex, which is...
I got what I wanted from this move. I am more than willing to be very impaired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm just saying, because if you want to move fast, you can always act under fire.
I mean...
Not on the first time, nah. I know I can, but it doesn't feel right.
Alrighty, cool. So
I mean, I would, if we did like a under fire roll trying to move fast with help instead, like Bravo's been rolling fire with my help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could do that. You would, because I mean, you've already fictionally established that Bravo is helping him, get up and move. So if Rex wanted to make a roll and Bravo help him,
okay,
that is something that we could do.
That can work.
All right,
okay.
maybe I will do it.
Yes.
Then.
And that's the thing. If Rex wants to make the roll, like Bravo, don't make the roll until Rex makes it, because
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. So the fire you're acting under is moving fast enough to find cover before they find you.
All right. Sounds good.
I mean, you smash through a wall. It's not quiet.
All I can think of is hide.
Yeah.
It's another 7. Not
okay. So
great rolls today.
You've got a partial success there.
Actually, it's an 8. Same thing.
Oh wait, it's an 8. That's very different, because if it's an 8, Bravo can push it to a full success.
Wait,
if it's a 7, he can't.
Isn't 10 full success?
So we're doing a roll under fire with help. So Rex rolled an 8. If you roll a 10 or higher, he gets his move, his under fire, to a full success, and we can find a hiding space.
Oh, really? It gives it plus
yes.
So you roll.
Yes, because the way that helping works, failure is you expose yourself to the same danger they would have. A mixed success is a +1, and a full success is a +2.
All right. Come on, you big oaf. Let's get out of here.
So, roll plus hex with Rex.
Oh my gosh. I got another 11.
Oh my gosh.
I have +2 with Rex.
Where are we going, Middlehead?
Straight forward. We got to get in that building and avoid cameras.
There's so many.
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty, cool. So you succeed your roll. You help Rex up. You get him moving. He's disoriented. Where was going? And you're just like, go straight, run straight, and you're just helping him. You're pushing him along. You're making sure he doesn't fall over when he stumbles. Mm-hmm. And you're able to make it to the warehouse before anyone gets spotlights trained in the area where the loud crashing, crumbling noise and the plume of dust randomly appeared. As
we get close to the warehouse, what does it look like?
This looks like a warehouse. It smells of.
It's a furniture store.
It's another furniture store. No, this warehouse, it smells of like hay and cut grass. Maybe this is where they store this is like a warehouse in a sense where they store like foods like grain or like animal feed or something. It kind of has that kind of smell to it. I don't know if that's something Bravo even recognizes, but that's kind of the smell you're getting as you approach this place.
Place smells weird. Do I see any cameras?
No.
Is there a window on the side closest to us?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see if I have a spare piece of wire on me or something that I can jimmy it open with. Because if we go...
Rex is gonna lie down in some hay.
If we go around to the main entrance, of course there's gonna be cameras over the main entrance, is what I'm thinking. I don't really know.
I mean, that's logical.
That's logical.
Okay, so I'm gonna act under fire to get it open without breaking it.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay.
You're trying to use like a stiff piece of wire or something to pop the latch.
Yeah, so my luck ran out. I rolled a 3. When I do something under fire, I get to do weird, so that bumps it up to a 6. If somebody helps, I can do a partial success.
I'm on it.
Rex starts snoring.
Professional.
How are you going to help, Dice?
So as I watching him kind of, I feel like I'm watching him put the wire in, but I can see where he's going wrong. Try to help him correct his.
Sorry.
Like Bravo's getting increasingly desperate. You can see like the frame starting to bend.
Yeah.
In the window.
And so right as it seems like it's gonna fail, she's gonna try and step in to like help him jimmy it just right that it seems to not break the window and hopefully pop open, because it looks like where he's going is going to make a lot of noise. And so then I also have professional compassion, so I'm going to roll sharp instead of hex.
Does that work if you're not doing a healing move?
It just says you can roll sharp instead of hex when you help someone who's rolling.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, because
I rolled a 9.
Reset with me. Okay, 9.
So we got a +1.
Hey,
Okay, so Bravo, what does that make it?
A 7.
I get a 7?
Partial success.
A 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Okay, so you're able to pop the latch. And by pop the latch, I mean you break the wood that it's attached to. But as you're super excited, you get this. Dice is able to help you. So you're not like shattering the window. You push it up as you try to open it or pull it out. But for some reason, it gets stuck. Bravo, you will be able to fit in, but there's no way on earth you're ever getting Rex through that, and it'll be one heck of a tight squeeze for Dice.
Oh, for some reason I thought we were in. I cut out the part where cut out the parts where I'm taking naps on hay.
Just like Rex is just
slumped up against the wall. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I crawl in the window and I start getting hay and throwing it out the window. I'm like, if we're not getting Rex in here, we can at least hide him under something. I don't know, Dice. What are we gonna do? I'm throwing hay out.
Oh goodness. Okay.
We had a good plan. We were gonna sneak through. Now there's a giant hole in the wall and we can't get Rex away. What are we gonna do?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at this moment, I think this is the moment when I'm gonna try, because it seems like we're relatively not super safe, but like relatively have like a moment while Bravo is throwing hay out the window, to use the healing touch and see if we can get Rex back into some sort of consciousness.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go and kind of, he said shoulder broken probably, so I'm gonna head kind of go towards his shoulder is and put my hands directly on his shoulder, like get underneath his clothes to get onto his shoulder area. And we're gonna roll a weird. I rolled a 10, so I heal 1 segment.
Okay.
Psychic stuff.
Cool.
Psychic.
Yep. So Rex, you're able to mark that that segment is now healed.
Does it still open your mind?
No, it only opens my mind on a 7 to 9 or a fail. On a 10, it just heals. 10 plus, it just.
Rex's mind is not open, but it's still not fully functioning right now either.
That is correct.
I rolled a 9 plus 1 weird. We got ourselves a 10.
Whoa. Rex kind of like wiggles his shoulder. He's like, whoa.
Okay.
You've good shoulder touch, Fix.
How are you feeling? I've never done that before.
What? Done what?
Don't worry about it. We need to figure out how to get... Bravo's in the warehouse. We're not in the warehouse. We can't fit through that window.
Where are we?
Trying to find safety. You just busted a hole through a wall. Like, what the heck?
I don't know what you're saying. I'm tired.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
No, don't let him go to sleep.
Rex, stop! No! I'm gonna shake him.
Okay, so here's the sitch as it lies. Rex is lying on the ground, slumped up against the wall. Bravo is inside the warehouse because he could fit through the window and said he went in. Dice is there with Rex. What is going on? Who's doing what?
Okay.
I guess ignore Bravo. What are you doing? Because Dice just took an action. But
did you ask me what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said ignore Bravo. Okay. No. All right.
Ignore Bravo.
At this moment, okay, I'm gonna look around the inside of the warehouse, and what do I see?
So inside the warehouse, it is dark. There's a couple of there's some windows letting light in. Especially at this point, the sun is basically below the horizon. You're at that like yellow twilight fading into purple darkness. This warehouse is filled with all sorts of agricultural products. You do have, like, as you said, you've been shoveling, you have loose hay. You also have some hay that's been baled. You have boxes of what look like various vegetables or grains, things that have been grown and are being stored in here for now. You can see a couple of smaller doors that like they're human sized, but there's also these bigger like garage kind of gate doors that you would allow you to bring vehicles or make it easier to bring stuff in and out of this warehouse. It's also currently empty. It's empty.
And I don't see any cameras or anything.
No, you don't.
I through the window, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go around and open the main door. If you see anybody come, just pretend you're a pile of hay.
Okay.
I can do that.
And I head to see if I can get a main door open and make an easy way for them to get inside.
Okay, yeah. I think that's reasonable. What door are you opening? You opening the human-sized door or the big one?
I'm gonna go over to the big one, see if I can open it just a crack.
Okay, so the as you go over to the big one, you see that there's a panel. It has a couple of buttons. One that's an arrow pointing up, and another it's an arrow pointing down. Then there's this big red button on the side of it. Seems to be the operating panel for the door.
Interesting. And does there look like there's any sort of like fingerprint scanner or anything, or is it just a button that anybody can press?
It's just a button.
Okay, I press the up button.
Okay, as you press the up button, the big door, you hear it clatter to life as the motor starts to draw it up. I mean, imagine the sound your garage door makes as it comes up. It's making that noise. It's a little more rattly as it's industrial and not, like residential and built to be quiet, but like
as it gets a couple feet up, I press the up button again. Does that stop it?
No.
I press the red button.
That does stop it.
Perfect. I was worried that might be an alarm. Okay, I duck under the door and I carefully come around the side to them. Has anybody shown up by now, or are we still in the clear?
You're still in the clear, but you ain't got much longer.
Okay. I'm like, all right, guys, quick, bring the hay with you. I mean, as much as you can carry. The rest will get blown away. We don't want to leave a big pile next to the window, though. But come on, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna get Rex back up with his now unbroken shoulder and start moving to following Bravo.
Okay. If nothing else happens, we duck under the big garage door and close it.
Rex hits his head on the door.
All of you are presented with this warehouse. As stated, it's filled with various agricultural goods. There is bales, bales of hay or dried grass. There are boxes and crates of produce. There are some places where it looks like equipment to move this stuff around is stored. The warehouse is dark and it is devoid of human presence. What do you do?
Okay. Let's.
Ooh.
Sorry, so there's like piles of hay?
There's not loose piles of hay. There's baled hay stacked. What Bravo was like pulling stuff out of pulling stuff out of a bale that like one of the wires the wiring had gotten loose, and you could do that when he was hucking it out the window.
Okay.
As like a loose pile, kind of, or like it fell apart a bit?
I mean, yeah, like it's falling apart.
Okay, yeah, Rex is gonna try to nap in that.
What if we, if there's a ton of bales of hay, what if we like move them so that there's like makes a little like block house, like there's a little hole in the middle that we can be inside without it being obvious.
What I'm worried about is if we fall asleep here and this is a place of work, in the morning, people are going to show up.
Good point. We need to get to some sort of surveillance checkpoint, and see if we can add ourselves to the list of people that should be in this city. But I don't know if we can do that with Rex in this condition.
This is true. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. Oh goodness, what? Oh what?
This is also like the most obvious place to be, with a big hole in the wall right next to it. Other than those houses that we ran past, but
yeah, this would be the first place I would check.
I agree this isn't a great place to be, but at least we're not in the open.
That's true. I guess I'm down to try to build a little hay hut. Not all of us fall asleep.
That might take some time to construct that, especially without Rex's help.
Your shoulder is fixed.
I'm strong.
Yeah, but I'm like dazed.
He still has a concussion. I didn't fix that.
Okay. Whether it's... Yeah, let's just cover Rex up with hay, and maybe I can go take a look around, or we can both take a look around and see what we can see. But I agree, this is not a good place to make our base long term.
No. We need to find something more substantial.
Okay. If Rex is too dazed to help us build a hay hut, then let's just throw loose hay on him.
Okay.
I mean, he's not going to stop you.
Okay.
Just make sure he can breathe.
There's a little hole at the top of the hay.
Just covering him up with hay.
I think I'm gonna ask you to make a roll on that.
Roll for hay. I'm guessing
because in this situation it matters how well you hide him.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think, because the advice of Apocalypse World is say yes or roll dice. And I'm trying to think, actually no. Okay, yeah, y'all will be able to hide him. You have adequate enough time, I think, to not be stupid about this.
And as long as we don't leave him there forever. I mean,
yeah, I do want to say, about what time of day is it now? Because we spent a lot of time in the evening setting up explosions.
Yes, that's true.
That's another thing.
So sun is below the horizon. I'm not going to bother looking up like a chart of when the sun actually sets in Pittsburgh. So we're just going to say it's like, imagine like 7:30.
Okay.
Almost 8.
We still have plenty of time before the workday starts again.
Yeah. Like you got here as the sun was setting. So like that would have been what, 6:30, almost 7. You had half hour, 45 minutes of daylight before the sun went below the horizon. Even after that, you can still see. So by the time that it's now and it's dark and you've set off explosions, 7:30, almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have more time than I thought.
Dice, do you want to stay here and watch the sleeping big guy, or do you want to be out there to watch my back?
It's a really good question.
Why don't you come with me?
I was gonna say I'm gonna come with you. I think he will be just fine. So I'll go with you, make sure nothing happens.
Okay.
Split the party.
Yes, as is our tradition now. Whenever we enter a new dystopia, we immediately split the party and leave Rex on his own, not knowing what's happening.
This time it's a concussion, not kidney stones.
Okay. We can both fit out the window, so we don't need to open the garage door.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
Out the window we go.
Alrighty, cool. So yeah, so you're able to hide Rex. He's tucked away behind some hay, or something, baled hay. You've made him a little. It's a hay fort.
A little hay fort.
Little hay fort. He can take a good nap in.
Pillow forts have nothing on this.
Absolutely nothing. But cool. Yeah. So you do that. And you exit through the same window that you broke to enter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Where do you plan to go? Like what direction?
Away from the wall.
Yeah. We'll skirt around the building, heading west. I think northwest, because we don't want to be close to the eastern wall where there's a attention of the guards. But I just want to get a lay of the land, see what kind of see how surveilled the streets are, and just figure out like how free we're going to be to move around. See if I can find any sort of information hubs that we could get in and edit things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but always keeping to the shadows.
Yeah, always hiding.
I have my beanie pulled down so that spotlights won't make bright reflections off the side of my head.
So you leave the warehouse and you wander in a generally northwestern direction. There's roads throughout this whole place, but yeah, as you said, you're kind of keeping to the shadows. Now that you're inside New Pittsburgh and you can take a better look at it, this is really actually quite a fantastic city. They seem to have done a really great job of restoring or maintaining what is already here. And as I said, there are billboards kind of all over the place. There's a lot of them that sit on top of these warehouses that you see kind of scattered throughout the city as you wander. These billboards are all full of propaganda. They're lit up with lights from underneath the screen. The billboards themselves are not these like electric projection things in this area. Though you do see you do see like the light that you think could be coming from one, but you can't clearly make it out in where you currently are. These billboards are covered in propaganda. They all discuss various things about how we need to stick together and band together, protect ourselves from the vile outside. You're finally close enough to make out that you're able to see this, and it's this circular symbol that has this bridge going off into the distance, and it reads in the top New Pittsburgh, and on the bottom of this circular seal looking thing it says us or them.
Ew. Okay.
I whispered to Dice, I think this one might be a little harder than Denofunk to turn the people to our side.
I have to agree, but we'll find a way.
We better.
Alrighty. Now to give you a little bit of a lay of the land, I guess to say, as you're wandering northwest, to the western side you see what looks like a lot of residential buildings or area. You can see there are lights on in various buildings. You can see some people moving across windows or whatnot. It looks to be the place where people live. Kind of scattered between where you are and throughout the area, you see these fields that have been cultivated. There's all sorts of different what appears to be like fruits and vegetables, not fruits, but vegetables and grains that are being grown within the city walls in these areas that are cultivated and maintained. So it appears, as just a glance at what you're seeing, western half of the city, residential and farming. Eastern half of the city, or part of the city, seems to be a bit more of the like metropolitan kind of center area. Now, you are skulking through the shadows. Would you both please make rolls to do so successfully? Would you please act under fire? Would you be cool about this for once?
No, I'm gonna make it weird. Cool. I got a 9.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do with this. So one thing that you notice, Bravo, that I think Dice mixes. Dice is you Dr. Dice. You're taken up just in enveloping absorbing the surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
You're understanding where things are. You're doing a much better job, I guess, of like mentally like sorting out parsing out what things are and where things are.
Well, being Bravo, more of like a metropolitan kind of style city, does it remind me of home, like Chicago? The Chicago area?
Yeah, it definitely does to a certain extent. This is a big city, or was a big city that's been shrunk into a much smaller city, but the buildings are still the same. Like this isn't a place that's been reconstructed. It's a place that's been revitalized.
Okay.
So this is like skyscrapers and stuff?
Not like super. Yeah, actually, yeah. It's kind of skyscrapers. They're not like super tall.
Maybe the biggest ones fell down, but it's still got some pretty dang big buildings.
Yeah, it's still got some pretty dang big buildings. I mean, you're looking, I think, 5 or 6 stories. Like that's multiple stories taller than any buildings that you've seen in other communities, maybe with the exception of Siliconia.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like the reference that I'm seeing for this is like Over the Rhine in Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah.
Which you've got a lot of brick and buildings, but they're like 3 or 4 stories is a very common thing, apartment style.
Okay.
areas.
Dang, these are all going to be locked complexes, aren't they?
You never know. But what you do notice, going through Bravo, is you're a little better at sneaking and hiding than Dice is being, and maybe you're able to like pull her back into the shadows to like barely avoid detection in this case. But you see that there are patrols that walk through the streets. These little like groups of three people they're uniformed and they're carrying firearms that are patrolling the area. And maybe you also notice you see there are people who peer out their window periodically, and they take a lay of the land and a surveillance of what's going on around.
So rather than cameras on the streets, it's the neighborhood watch that we need to look out for.
Yes, and here's the thing: once you notice that, man, it is slow going to be go undetected. I mean, you've got to watch out not only for the actual uniformed guards, you got to watch out for them nosy neighbors. You got to watch out for people you may not even be seeing. Like who knows what's going on? You just have to be very careful to make sure that you go undetected.
All right, team huddle. Dice.
Team huddle, yeah.
If this is all done manually, I was hoping that we could fool a computer into thinking that we belong here, so it wouldn't notify anybody. But if it's people, I don't know what we're gonna do about that, because if they tell their superiors, there's not some way that we can just go press a button and make their superiors think we're supposed to be here.
You mean we can't pull a lever to get new names?
Pull the lever, Crunk.
Wrong lever.
Wrong lever.
Alarms start going off.
Oh man.
We could. Here's my initial thoughts. Either we try to find out if there's an underground resistance group already.
Yeah.
Or find some lower leader and make him think that by helping us, it'll give him a chance to move up the ladder.
Take power. That could work as well.
I'd rather rely on people who want to overthrow this, because if we get some leader who's willing to betray his city, then he'll easily be willing to betray us at a moment's notice.
Yeah, no, I follow.
And Rex will probably kill him first chance he gets.
Rex will probably kill him first chance he gets, yeah. From what I understand, Rex is from a society very similar to this. So, for sake of immediacy, I think what we need to do is just find some place that we can have like a base of operations for ourselves. Someplace safe.
Do you think that... I'm worried about Rex. I don't know if we can rely on him. I mean, we had a plan and a way to get in undetected, and on a whim he completely threw that off. Did you hear the way he was talking earlier about his old city? He made it sound like it was a good thing. I know he won't flip sides, but I don't know if he'll be on board with if we have to make a hard choice.
I agree with you. While we were driving here, I did ask him a little bit about it, and he was one of the guards, it seemed like. He was one of the enforcers.
Yeah.
So, while I don't know, Rex seems kind of like a little bit of a wild card in this, but he's also one of the only other people that we have, and
I mean, he's good at doing what he does.
He is good at doing what he does.
I think we'll just need to keep that in the back of our heads.
Just be wary.
Yeah. In the meantime, we need to find some place to hide, to have a more long-term base of operations. Do we go for a residential place and act natural in the day, if we're ever out in the day, and just hope that nobody thinks we're suspicious? Or do we go for a place more industrial that people will be less likely to look?
I feel, for the moment, like in someplace industrial that people are less likely to look is a good place to start, at least for the first couple of nights, while we kind of figure out the dynamic of the society, because see if we can get into housing, and then after that kind of go from there. Just someplace temporary at first.
Okay.
for sure.
All right, let's do it. And then I'm starting to get an inkling of a plan of maybe how we could try to get the attention of a resistance movement if there is one.
Okay.
But maybe we should talk about that later.
We can talk about that later. Let's focus on finding. While we're out, Rex is sleeping in a pile of hay. We need to get him out of the pile of hay.
Yeah, especially since it's so close to the hole in the wall.
It's so close to the hole, and if he is found, it's going to be very obvious that he is the one that did it.
I mean, if they lock him up, he'll probably just break a hole through the wall and get out. It might be the best thing for us. They lock him up, he'll be in the place where all the guards are. We can do a rehash of the most horrifying stage of taking down Dana Funk that was also the most effective.
Yeah, but that also blew our cover completely.
It's true. It's true. So let's try to avoid that. But if we need to, we'll let him
worst
lock him up.
Worst comes to worst, we'll let him get locked up. But I would like to avoid that outcome if at all possible.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's look for our new base.
Okay. So I think we're gonna head more for like industrial area to start, to try to find some place to temporary base.
Maybe if there's, I mean, these are still pretty big buildings. I don't know how long New Pittsburgh has been filling in, but maybe there's some of these, I don't know, maybe some warehouse, the second story is not even being used. Like if we can keep an eye out for something like that.
I like that idea.
Okay.
I guess that would be read a charge situation, right?
Yeah, I'll call it that. Seems the most reasonable.
Okay, that's a highlighted stat. Do you mind if I roll that, Becca?
You can roll it, and if you need help, I'll help you.
Okay, sounds good. Oh no. So I got a 4 plus 1.
Technically possible.
Technically.
To succeed this.
Okay.
Yeah, you could make it a mixed success.
Okay. Here I go.
Becca, or did I say Dice? Dice, how are you helping Bravo succeed in this way? I like the fictional positioning of what are you doing?
So for this one, I feel like going into it, we're already kind of looking for something. So as kind of like pointing out buildings, saying, what could that one work? Do we like the way that one looks? And so for this moment, I would say he's pointing at a building that seems like it could work. You know, we were talking about a second story, so it seems like it's a multi-floor warehouse or someplace big enough that we could hide in if need be. And so this is just going to kind of confirm or deny whether or not that'll be a good building.
Okay.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled an 11.
Oh.
Y'all are doing real well on your desperate saves.
I rolled a 13. It's a 13.
Nice. Okay, so Bravo, you have gone from a 5 to a 7.
Yes.
You may ask one question.
All right. So, I'm going to say, I mean, you know what I'm looking for. I think the most fitting question would be, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah.
Okay. You should be on the lookout for an area that is pretty far away from any residential sector.
Aha, my guess was right earlier.
If people are spying on you through their windows, you want to be as far away from that as possible.
Okay. This building we had looked at, how, like, when I have that thought and I look around, how close are we to a residential area? Do we need to choose a different one?
Let's see. So remind me, you've gone northwest and you've just basically been kind of meandering in mostly a straight line, but
well, I think
because the road that you see does go directly northwest.
Yeah,
it's adjacent to the.
When we had talked, Dice said maybe we want to go for something more industrial. So I didn't say this, but I was thinking we kind of switched to going a little bit more northeast at that point to head a little bit more into the industrial parts, less of the residential.
As you go like this northeast, you see an area that's you see an area that's near the river. Now this area near the river, it is a cluster. It's a cluster of buildings, but for some reason, like none of the lights are on, and it's still early enough in the night, even though you've been moving slow to, you know, have like someone's light be on or whatnot. This looks like a good place that if you wanted to hunker down for a day or two, you'd probably be able to do it.
Okay. Is it, when you say near the river, is it like right against the river?
It's like right against the river. It's a little east of what looks to be their hydroelectric power station that they're using the river to power the city with. They've got this big like extension off of this like large industrial building that goes into and under the water of the river, and you hear these loud whirring noises from that building. So you presume that's the hydroelectric plant that Catherine has told you about.
Okay. I pointed out, and I'm like, Dice, and if we get caught and somebody's running in through the bottom of the building to catch us, we just jump out of the window into the river.
I guess that could work. We don't know how deep the river is, though. That could be potentially harming. Apologies. I usually think of the worst case scenario in most situations.
Yeah.
But I see the merit in
somebody
the idea.
has to.
Okay.
Let's, if we can scout this out, find a way in, and then go back and manage to move Rex up here before morning. That's going to be hard to do all of that before morning, but that's our best bet to avoid detection.
It is.
I mean, we said it's you've been wandering the city 8:30.
Oh, okay.
8:30 at night.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
We've got
9.
lots of time.
I forget that this is a smaller subset of what used to be a big city. So, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
exactly. Yeah, this isn't the entirety of Pittsburgh. This is a portion of Pittsburgh that would hold, and this is player only knowledge, not characters, is a portion of Pittsburgh that would hold about 800 people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it is not that big. It's bigger than Daniel Funk was by a multiplier, but it's not huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we've got more than enough time to go get him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then, yeah.
Well, let's find a building. Let's find a space and then go back and get him.
Okay, we've got our spot.
Yeah, so we'll just elide some time. So you find an adequate spot. I sent you a new map. It's the area with the black circle around it.
Mm-hmm.
So you find a spot that you think will work well, that you'll be able to get into and hunker down for a day or two. It may not be long-term safe, but it'll be at least short-term safe. And you carefully pick your way back through the city, back towards the warehouse where you hid Rex away.
And as we get close, I'm like, please still be there. Please still be there.
As you get close to the warehouse, there are armed men with flashlights looking through the area.
Oh, gosh.
What do you do? Actually, cut to Rex. Would you have woken up in, I don't know, how long do you think you would have been out for? Because it's probably been about in 45 minutes, an hour when we're having this scene.
So like me as Matt, I'm actually not super familiar with concussions. I don't know like how long they last. My assumption is that Rex is just going to be like napping through a lot of this unless there's something that really wakes him up.
I was very apprehensive to leave him because people sleeping with concussions usually need to be watched.
I mean, mechanically, he doesn't have any damage anymore.
No.
That is correct. He's just addled.
He's just addled. This is
so
nice.
Maybe it got changed from a dangerous concussion to just being very dazed.
Just tired and dazed.
Yeah, like, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not gonna. There's not gonna be mechanical things after the night's done. I do want to know, and like this, I think this is a decision that we'll leave to Rex.
Yeah.
Do you think, just with the nature of who you are, that the noise of like the slight clicks of people with guns and like people opening doors and searching through places, do you think that would wake you up even in your dazed state? Because I mean, like, your entire being has been a mercenary.
I have to say, I feel like that noise is gonna resonate deep even in his slumber, and he's gonna PTSD is not the right phrase, but it's like the kind of like trigger noise. I guess that's what I'm looking for. It's like a trigger noise.
Yeah.
It's something he's too familiar with. So I feel like he'll awake in not as alert as he normally would be, I'll say. It's a grog.
Yeah. So you wake up, and I guess you listen and you pay attention. I don't know if I don't think they've built any way for you to see out of this before they just kind of piled it on you.
No, I just kind of have like hay in my mouth and I kind of spit it out.
Yeah. Yeah, but you listen and you hear, and A, you haven't been found yet. They're searching this. It sounds like they're searching this area, but have not successfully found anyone. And now that statement goes to everyone. Like, Rex in the warehouse he hasn't been found. It sounds like they're searching area, but haven't found anyone. Y'all outside. You got these men with Uzis and flashlights looking around. If they're still looking, they haven't found anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're still here for some reason.
Rex is currently like on top of the hay pile, kind of, or like, semi in it. He's gonna kind of like roll down the side of it to like kind of hide behind it, but not like very greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I just have this image in my mind. If he's inside of a hay fort, I mean, bullets are gonna go through hay like crazy. I'm just imagining like guards around it and just like boom, 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 boom. Anyway.
Boom, boom, boom. Fired.
That's true. But we also know from Assassin's Creed that if he just waits for one of them to walk by, he can just drag them into the hay bale and he'll be gone forever.
I didn't imagine that. Yeah.
I have put people in vanishing cabinets before.
Is that guy still in there?
I don't want to know if he was freed or not. GM, don't say.
He's there.
So Rex, you seem to be hunkering down and just hiding more. Bravo and Dice, what do you do?
How exposed are we?
You're not exposed. This with what you're currently doing, there is no danger that you will be like spotted and targeted.
I'm trying to get some hard rolls here, but also at the same time, I'm not just going to jump on a guard out of nowhere. So
It'd be very out of character.
You can always make weird rolls.
Oh, heck. You're right. I can make weird rolls. Okay. Oh, okay.
If you want that sweet, sweet XP.
I do want that sweet, sweet XP. So that, I think, looking at the situation, not quite sure where to go, she's going to open her brain up.
Oh God. This is only the second time this has happened in our campaign.
I know.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear you describe it, because mine was very Bravo specific, like tech based. So I'm interested to hear what Dice's version of that is.
I rolled an 8. So
On a 7 to 9, or I guess is that with the weird bonus?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so on a 7 to 9. Okay, so what is it like? What is it like for Dice to open her brain to the maelstrom, to the psychic maelstrom?
So for Dice, it's more of like a feeling, I guess. Kind of just coming off of using her healing touch for the first time on Rex, and that feeling of just like healing a broken bone without any bandaging, anything like that. She kind of takes that feeling that she felt in her hands and kind of channels it. So there's no outward kind of, because Bravo had like sparks and stuff whirring, but for Dice, it's more of like an internal thing that she just takes that feeling that she felt while she was healing Rex and tries to expand it to try and see if she can find a way to get him out.
Cool. Yeah. So you're sitting here, you're thinking, and you're focusing, and you're tapping into this technically omnipresent force that just sits right on the outside of most people's perception. It's on the periphery, but if you really focus, you can tap in and you can feel it, and you can try and weave your way through to learn what you desire. Is this something that Dice does out of like desperation, or is this unconscious? Is this conscious? Is this I guess you described it. It is a conscious effort.
It's a conscious effort to kind of see what she can expand this feeling that she had like an hour ago into something more.
Yeah. And as you do this, you kind of feel this like kind of perceptive, just feeling. It's this gut you understand what's going on. It starts from you and it kind of expands outward. This bubble and things like even in like your vision or your like mental image of things kind of get a little like smoky and wispy as they go through. Things get blurry and unclear in a sense. And as your bubble expands and expands, you get these feelings of confusion and alertness as it kind of washes over the guards. You get this feeling of urgency, like we need to do something. And this is, again, still coming from the guards in the situation. As this bubble kind of expands, you get this general sense of uneasiness as it kind of washes over some of the adjacent like residential buildings, and basically you're getting this kind of overall vibe of on edge,
Okay.
but still longing and still searching.
Okay.
So externally, what signs that you were doing this did you give? Did your like eyes roll back or anything? Or?
She starts glowing green.
Starts
lives in the
glowing
air.
green. No.
Or
Galadriel screams at you.
what I'm wondering is, does Bravo have any idea of what just happened?
She'll kind of grow and like grab her head a little bit, and like as it's happening, kind of like close her eyes for a second and then kind of open them to look around, and kind of see if she can see anything. And then for a moment, just like she's like grasping her head, and then as it fades, she kind of like takes a deep breath in and just kind of like gasps a little bit for air.
And I like grab you to make sure you don't fall over. I'm like, Dice, are you okay? Dice, what's happening?
Take a hold of his shoulder and okay. That was weird. They haven't found Rex yet, so, but we need to come up with a plan quick. I don't.
Do you have magic powers?
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
We can
We'll
delve
put a
into
pin
that.
in that. We'll get back to that
we'll get back to that because
All right,
I have
what are we
no
gonna do
idea what's
about
going
Rex?
on. Okay, so we need to come up with something quick. They're still looking. They haven't found him yet, which means, hey, worked. I don't know if they're inside the building. But we need to come up with something.
We could. What about the neighborhood watch? What if we, I don't know, pose as one of them?
Pose as a neighborhood watch. Ooh.
Or alert a neighborhood watch in the wrong direction? But then they'd still be alerted.
Have we seen a whole ton of other people out on the street as we go, or just people like peeking out in the guards?
Just people peeking out of their windows.
Okay.
You've not seen anyone except for guards on the roads.
Okay. Let's read a charge situation.
Okay.
See what happens. Okay. I rolled a 5. 6. I rolled a 6. So I will go for I'm debating between which enemy is most vulnerable and which one's the biggest threat. Because if we go vulnerable, we could pull a steal clothes. We could try a steal clothing move.
I like that idea.
And then
I mean, I'm a little short for a stormtrooper, but I think it'll still do the trick.
Still do the trick. So we'll go for which enemy is most vulnerable.
Okay, so the enemy that's most vulnerable, there's one of these guys, because you see like there's about 3, or yeah, I'd say 3. It's one of the standard kind of watch patrol sizes. One of these guys, he has his back to you. Has his back to you as he's looking around like the side of the the opposite side of the building from where you are, and you can see he's probably the most vulnerable, which is because he has his back to you. That quickly changes as one of his other team members just doing a circle, looking around, trying to see if anything's going, and he sees a head poked around a corner, watching them.
Oh no!
And that head belongs to one Dr. Agnes Dice.
Oh no!
Okay.
And we cut to black.